So somebody said regarding my mother in the recent Mom and the Wild Man, why is she so cold and deliberately shutting you out? Her body language is horrible. My mother's an abusive monster who just frankly never gives me a hug, never shows me any love. She stonewalls me. She's just a bitch, quite frankly, who's just nasty to me all the time, tells me what a burden I am, what a loser I am, how she's burned out and fatigued by me. Somebody says, I can feel the tension in the video. Yeah, basically, it's toxic. Somebody says, you're having a conversation with your sadistic persecutor. Not only am I having a conversation with her on camera, currently, I'm living at her house. I'm financially dependent on her. Somebody said, I had a bad divorce many years ago, and, I don't know. But I guess toggle the emotional switch to off. Realize my mother never had nefarious intentions when it came to me. On the contrary, her intentions have always been to help me. She's not a monster behind her mask who got off sexually from torturing me along with my stepfather. It might feel that way to me, but, just realize it's an emotional tsunami. When I feel the constraints of my life, I bring charges of sexual perversity. But they aren't fiends, they aren't monsters. I'm just really frustrated by the lack of love in my life. What I need is independence. What I need is a romantic partner that's a woman. And let's say, hypothetically speaking, my mother were to go away. They said, like the police show up and they say, everything you say is true, we're going to haul your mother and stepfather off to prison. I wouldn't know how to be independent. In fact, if my mother and stepfather went away, I would probably wind up in the psychiatric hospital or homeless. I can't function as an independent adult. So I'm lucky to have my mother. If it wasn't for my mother, I would wind up, locked away in some institution because, I can function as an independent adult. And, the only reason I'm living here at her house and, doing what I do is because she's enabling it and she's allowing me to do it. If it wasn't for her, I'd be in the psychiatric hospital or homeless, So I should be kissing her feet and thanking her, not saying she's a sadistic persecutor.